Good morning. Here we are at Bowland Bridge in the South Lakes, just getting ready for our walk. We're parked up in Bowland Bridge. Sorry to say the pub here is up for sale. It's a sad sign of the times that these beloved buildings seem to be descending into uneconomic. There we are, just take you a sad picture of the pub. Hopefully someone will buy it, but you just never know these days. Back to the pub, the Heading House car park. There you can see some farmers have loaded a load of, do we call them bales anymore, of straw ready to be delivered to wherever. Ken there, studying his map, is leading today. We're just about ready to roll, as Ken has just said. Off we go, following in his venerable footsteps. So we're going down this lane, the side of this delightful corner cottage. The weather forecast doesn't seem to say that it's going to rain. I think it was about 5% chance of rain according to the Met Office forecast that I looked at. It's windy, so we might get some wind chill, so everybody's sort of wrapped up. Woolly hats, gloves and scarves to the fore. Those of you who watch our wonderfully interesting videos will know of our constant complaints about styles, and to start off with is a really challenging one. Hooray! Now small groups got spaced out a bit here. Dry stone wall, and coming up to another gate. There's the sun shining through the clouds. Hopefully the rain will keep off today. This is a contrast to our walk last week, which the sun came out, and for March was red hot, which is very unusual. We come into a bit of rough boggy country here. The gorse is just starting to come out. There's sheep galore, no lambs as yet. Some places there are lambs, but not quite here. We're coming down this rather picturesque
we're talking over 1 million.
valley. The paradox, of course, is many of you will go to the lakes, possibly on Easter bank holiday or bank holiday, and encounter crowds of people at Windermere and Bowness. Here we're not encountering anybody. Just a zoom on the delightful view there, and our members ambling down towards the trees. Hope you can hear my voice above the wind here. The dominant feature so far of the walk is this stuff. Mud. This is an agricultural track, well used by farm vehicles, animals, etc. But you can see it's difficult to get around the mud to avoid sinking in. Here some of the lads negotiating their way around the sticky stuff.
It's like a private.
More mud.
Yeah, I'm not claiming too bad.
There we are.
Well,
In the words of Flanders and Swan, if you can remember them, the man in the wheelchair and the man on the piano, mud, mud, glorious mud. Nothing quite like it for cooling the blood. Well, I can tell you it's cooling our blood now. We're getting fed up already walking around it, sinking in it and squelching. Look, here we are, squelch, squelch, squelch. past this farm now, and if you've done some walking through some of these farms, you can never fail to be impressed by the piles of, well, I won't call it detritus or rubbish or something beginning with C, but this farm here does seem to have an impressive pile of stone. As one of the members have just said, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Yes, well, it is. Now, this is what you get when you've got lots of land and you don't need to take anything to the tip. You can just leave it where it stands for years on end. And even the days of someone coming in a big car and jumping out of the car and saying this is an antique and I'll buy it seem to have gone. Amongst the farmer's collection of junk, there's these slightly more interesting, this scarifying machine here, it's a close-up, and next to it a plough. I don't know how old they are, but I still reckon they could be made to work with a bit of elbow grease and oil. Broad Oak Farm.
Yeah.
I've just come up the hill there, leaving the mud behind, and now we're going up another hill. Fortunately no mud, but a lot of unrelenting tarmac. Now just lifting the camera. Sometimes on a daily basis the good old RAF fly over, and if we're lucky we sometimes capture the planes, but usually what happens is we just put the video away. Now we can hear a bit of a roar here. Now wouldn't it be wonderful if I'm holding the video and the aeroplanes appeared as if by magic? Oh well, in the absence of the aeroplanes, all that green stuff there is wild garlic. In a few months' time, all the wonderful wild garlic white flowers will be poking out, and you come up here and get a lovely smell of garlic, if you like that sort of thing. Rather enterprisingly here, there's this little vending shed, shall we call it. There we are, look, cans a £1. Unfortunately there's no gin, but you can't have everything. Swinging round now, and we're just stopping over here. Can you see this? The building at the back is that's those stones, that's a lime kiln. Here we are, some of the members here, just the ones that were rushed and didn't give us room on the bench. There they are, sat on their bench, and we're sat here on mud and prickles, but never mind, we don't bear resentment. Of course I'm only joking. Let's go have a look at this old lime kiln. Used to burning lime, of course, to put it on the land. At some point obviously someone's restored it with an H-beam. Now when that is, I do not know whether there was that restoration and whether it was done during the time it was still being used. One wouldn't have thought so, but there you go. Now having got further up the side of the hill here, we're walking on the edge of the hill between the ascending part of the hill and a dry stone wall in single file, a narrowish path. Probably in summer it'll be quite overgrown. It's still a bit muddy, but not too bad. The sun's coming out, it's very sheltered here, so I'm starting to get a bit warmer. May have to sort of start maybe taking a layer or two off. We're out of the wind, so there's no wind chill. So just at the moment, the only source of annoyance is just this slight bit of mud there underfoot, as you can perhaps see, a nice patch there. Lovely. Moaning about styles, number 5628. Here's a belter. Lower at the other side. Wobbly stones.
You're going to do a forward somersault off this.
Do one here. Sorry, I'm wobbling the camera. Here we are. Now, they've got all these Olympic events. If there was one for climbing styles, we'd be in the team. Hey up. Next one over. Basically, we've come up from the bottom of the valley. The footpath runs along the kind of the length of the scar on that narrow path I filmed before. Now, once we're all over the stile, we're on the top here. I'll just swing round. Limestone scar, very similar to lots of ones around here. The broken boulder, right near the top now of the scar. Those dots are two of our lads scrambling up the last gasp of the scar there. Here it comes, at the trot. I don't know, some silly sausages have been connecting rocks again to make a cairn. There you go. And we're right on top of the limestone escarpment, pavement, call it what you will. Some people think it looks a bit desolate limestone, some people like it, but nevertheless, you see, there's plenty of it. If you want a rockery, you know where to come. Well, don't actually, because it's probably an offence to take the stone. We're coming down now off the limestone scar that we were climbing up before. It's a bit bleak up there. How the trees managed to cling on to the limestone is very difficult to appreciate. There not being very much soil, particularly on the top where the wind blows, and nothing really lives on the limestone at the top. We're going down now where presumably there's more soil, because the dead bracken is there and we're ready to spring forth in summer. And these yew trees here, these dwarf yew trees, which seem to like clinging to the limestone, particularly up at the top. Strange Tunnels Volume 2. Now here's another tunnel thingy, cleft in the limestone. Suffice to say, after last week's episode, we're not going in there. You can hear the trees, the wind whistling through the trees as we descend the limestone escarpment. I'm just filming this at the top of the slope. There's quite a scree here. I'm at the back and Bob's going gingerly down. I'm going to stop filming and put the camera away because it's too difficult to film down here. We've just got to the bottom. As stated before, I couldn't film coming down the scree. It's very, very, very challenging. You could easily break your neck there, or your ankle, or anything you care to break. We're back into the wooded area now, down the bottom. Proceeding along, well away from limestone screes, thank goodness. I've just come out of the woods now, and we've got back to relative civilization, i.e. a road, which we're now starting to walk along. Still wooded countryside, and there's a finger post here with the venerable words public footpath, so I won't bother. We're coming down the road now, something a bit more bucolic and good looking. A cottage. North Lodge, it says. And there's some rather magnificent garden ornaments. Nodding dogs, probably knocked up in the shed, if you pardon the expression. Here's the horse. Just trying to take a picture. Let's go around a bit. Oh yeah.
Come on, no food.
And once more come into sort of what passes for civilization. Pool Bank Farm, it says. Sort of mullioned windows. At least a double glazing man hasn't been here. Now we've got out of the limestone, out of the trees and into the meadows with another view of another valley here. There's the assembled members walking up. We've been traversing some ground which is not very interesting, but it's very marshy. You can probably see the grassy stuff at the edge of the marsh there. We've cut across a couple of streams, and I haven't photographed it because I couldn't be bothered. It was the most diabolical style I've ever seen before. But again, moaning about style seems to get us nowhere. A bridge, in the words of Ernie Wise, what we went across. Oh, group photograph, group photograph, group photograph. Hello chaps, are we having a good time? Don't all shout at once? Yes, very good. Now we're coming here to sort of a journey's end-ish, hopefully. Yes, the Hare and Hounds come round the corner. So really, this is journey's end. All that remains is for us to take our boots off and wave our socks in the air to annoy the locals, and just give you a view of the Hare and Hounds. Of course, it's up for sale, and if ever I'd call make a sale, I want my percentage. Bye for now.